Hi book besties. So I just finished Warrior by Ashton Brooks and I rated this one 4.25 out of 5 stars. This is a second chance romance type of book. In the beginning, when the MMC does what he does, you're going to freaking hate him, because I hated him. Just preparing you, because he kind of seems like a douche. And you're like, dude, I might throw this book because of you, but I won't. I'm gonna give you one more chance to not be a douche. He comes in clutch, okay? He makes it worth it. So this book follows Colt and Lyric. Colt and Lyric meet when they're like 11 years old, and Colt loses his brother because he's unalived in action in the military. They become like instant friends after that. It's Colt, Lyric, and they have one other best friend, and I'm blanking on his name right now. After that, Colt's mom goes downhill too and unalives herself a couple months later. And then Colt's dad goes downhill and becomes a drunk and very abusive. And so pretty much he starts out with this picture perfect family. And then once his brother is gone, it goes way downhill from there. And the poor kid grows up in a very abusive, very terrible situation. When they turn 16 or 17, Colt asks Lyric on a date, and then that instantly turns them to being girlfriend and boyfriend and then being all over each other. Like, they're never separated, they're always together. They're very much like obsessed with each other, and everyone thought they were going to get married. They even planned like after their senior year to go to the same college, that way they could be together, because he was going to get a football scholarship and play football in college and all of these things. And then Colt gets scared. He goes on his like tryout or like tour of the school and realizes that he thinks he's a failure. And he's never going to measure up to all these football guys, and that football's not really the life for him. And he immediately after the tour goes and enlists in the army. Does he talk to Lyric about any of this? No. Does he talk to her any of it after he does it? Also no. And he also asks their best friend to lie for him. He doesn't tell her until he tells her like 2 seconds before he announces it to the whole town and to everybody else that he enlisted at their graduation party. And like, you would think that's like not a big thing, but Lyric didn't really want to go to this school, like this college with him, because she's very much like an introvert and she doesn't like to try new things. She likes her routine. And he was forcing her out of that by making her like asking her to go to this school with him, but she was willing to give that up for him. And so him turning around and doing what he did to her was just very like, what the fuck, dude? He goes to basic, and that's during like the summertime. So he comes back right before she's about to go to college, and he breaks up with her at a party. Cause he didn't communicate at all with her, like barely at all with her during his basic training. She didn't even know he was going to be back. She found out through his best friend because she ran into him at a grocery store. She went to the party to find him, and he breaks up with her. And so she goes home and she's like, fuck this, I'm done. But she's trying to give it like one more shot. So she goes and finds him at his house the next day. And he comes out of the room, and immediately following him is a girl in his t-shirt. And she's like, did you sleep with her? And he like doesn't answer her and just makes her believe that he slept with this girl and cheated on her. They're broken up. He didn't really cheat on her, okay? Also, he doesn't cheat on her, period, because he never slept with that girl. So after that, she decides to be like, I'm gonna go to this school. I'm going to give it a semester, and if I freaking hate it, I'm going back and doing what I want to do. It kind of jumps from there. Like, you get a little bit of, like, you get a scene where it's like 8 years later of Colt's life and how it's going for him. And then it jumps to 10 years later. So from like that 8 years, it jumps 2 more years ahead. So it's been 10 years since they've seen each other. And Lyric has got herself a pretty dangerous stalker who pretty much wants her. She helped his wife and child leave him because he's very abusive. She's now like a psychiatrist. She finished school. She loved it. She met a lot of people. She had a great life until this guy came along. Colt ended his time in the military, became a member of a motorcycle club, and Lyric is kind of an unofficial member of that club as well. They just don't know it because she became an unofficial member 4 years prior and he became one 2 years prior. So they haven't had any contact with each other until the president of the club sends Colt out to retrieve Doc, which is Lyric, because she pressed her silent alarm and that means she was in trouble, and he was like, you need to go get her and check on her, make sure she's okay, and then bring her back. And then, yeah, that's how they meet again. And after that moment, Colt was all like, I'm never letting her go again. She's mine. She's moving into my house. No, I messed up 10 years ago. I'm not doing the same thing twice. So after that moment, he was like, basically moved her into his house and was like, you can't leave because of this stalker. And once the stalker's gone, I kind of want you to never leave anyways. It was a good book. I felt like the last Ashton Brooks book I read, I did not love. And so giving her this second chance, I was so glad I did. I couldn't tell you why I didn't like the last book. It was a long time ago. But I am a fan of hers now, so that's all that matters. If you haven't read Warrior by Ashton Brooks, definitely go check it out. It is part of a 2-book series. I did want to read the next one, but I have a rule, and we have to stick to the rules. Even though I made the rules, I am working on my TBR jar for whenever this series gets over. Like, I read all the authors for this year. And I will be putting it on a slip in my TBR jar so I can read it whenever the time it comes. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.